Hello, good morning. My name is Father Rayappa from the Diocese of Vellore. Today I'm going to talk about again the International Year of Pulses 2016. And pulses, they are our food security, and also they are known as biodiversity. There are thousands of varieties of pulses, and they come in three main categories. One is beans, another one is peas, another one is lentils. Hundreds and thousands of them. And uh, this biodiversity, humans conveniently, most part of their lives have been rejecting. Not rejecting, forgetting. They don't use them. Beans, many few people use them, and peas, of course, some of the people every day they use them a little bit. Lentils, people use them in Southeast Asia and India and so on. But these three are very, very important for protein source. And for non-vegetarians, these three biodiversity is blessing. Today, because many people, there is no demand, many farmers, they don't cultivate them. In the past, they constituted a main crop. Actually, these pulses, they don't require a lot of water. They don't even require a lot of land. Absolutely no fertilizer. So it is a cost-free crop for the farmers. Almost nothing. You just sow the seed and you go and harvest. So it was a miracle crop for all the farmers. But now the demand is for the cereals like rice, wheat, rye, barley, oats, maize, all those stuff. People are developing a monoculture like monotaste, only for cereals. And so farmers, they don't tend to cultivate anymore. They cultivate rice, wheat, which are dangerous, which are really dangerous environmentally, because they consume a lot of water, millions of liters of water. On the other hand, pulses, they don't use water. So Pope Francis, in his recent encyclical Laudato Si, he seems to recommend few measures to effect some changes in our lifestyle, in eating, for example. He's telling we need to go back to the traditional recipes, especially a balanced diet. We need to add pulses. So indirectly he says, not directly. So actually he is afraid that the pulses may go extinct. He calls them biodiversity, because the farmers, they don't cultivate anymore, and they are facing extinction. And we need to bring back pulses because they are our food source. And also these are drought resistant crops, and they can grow even in extreme temperatures. Let us read what Pope Francis in his encyclical Laudato Si, in the first chapter under the subheading, the loss of biodiversity, that is article number 32 or paragraph 32. I'm going to read it. Please just take a note of it. The earth's resources are also being plundered because of short-sighted approaches to the economy, commerce, and production. In other words, because the land is plundered for rice cultivation, wheat cultivation, maize cultivation, some mono crop, and the land is being plundered for only single crop. The loss of forest and woodlands entails the loss of species which may constitute extremely important resources in the future, not only for food but also for curing diseases and other uses. Like pulses, they can heal a lot of diseases. Cancer healing properties are found in cereals, and heart disease, diabetes. The peas and the beans and the lentils can stop so many sicknesses. And also in future, it can become a main food source because of climate change and global warming. Imagine in the future, I mean, God forbid for saying this, maybe 60 degrees Celsius on planet Earth, global warming, because even the IPCC interpanel on climate change already predicted there will be 4 degrees increase by the turn of the century. Already it's 56 in some places. So you add 4, 60 degrees. So in that environment, I don't think rice and wheat and maize and other food sources on which we depend can survive, and they will go extinct. And then pulses. Pulses can survive those extreme temperatures, and I think they are blessing. So I think we need to cultivate. Not only that, by cultivating and you are enhancing their mutations. I mean, if we had cultivated for the past 30 years, for the 30 years we didn't cultivate very much the pulses, by this time there would have been very advantageous mutations. Probably their nature would have enabled pulses to develop some advantages against the exploited environment, and probably they can survive even 65 degrees, even 70 degrees Celsius, because there's a 30 years the farmers didn't produce. Those mutations are completely locked up. Those mutations, 30 years of development, probably we tampered with that. So I think we need to cultivate so that they can develop their own mutations, so that it will be beneficial for the humans and for the nature. Pope continues in the paragraph 32. Different species contain genes which could be key resources in years ahead for meeting human needs and regulating environmental problems. See, the same point Pope is also mentioning. I think they are very, very beneficial. Pope is simply telling we need to increase their production and consumption, and probably we need to develop some new recipes for people, tasty recipes, which we need to bring pulses to the food basket and recommend people eat more pulses and peas and lentils. See, Pope is writing here again in the article 23, humanity is called to recognize the need for changes of lifestyle. What does it mean? We have been addicted to only rice consumption, wheat consumption, potato consumption, maize consumption, chicken, beef, fish. It's all humans are addicted, but now Pope is calling for change of lifestyle. Come on, come and eat pulses. You forgot to eat pulses for the past 30 years, which has got so many nutrients, vitamin B, absolutely no cholesterol. There are plenty of carbohydrates, enzymes. There are so many things beneficial for the human health, and also disease curing properties are in the lentils. So he is calling for lifestyle change. Article number 23, Laudato Si. Right here, please read it. Humanity is called to recognize the need for changes of lifestyle, production and consumption in order to combat this warming, or at least the human causes which produce or aggravate it. Because agriculture, people use lot of fertilizers, chemicals, and these chemicals add pollution to the atmosphere. The fossil fuel, the ammonia, the nitrous oxide, all this result of agricultural activity. Human people throughout the world, even though agriculture was a benevolent job, Until the invasion of Green Revolution, the agriculture was holy indeed. But after the Green Revolution, agriculture became unholy. It's an activity of sin, killing the land, so much of poison adding to the atmosphere, deforestation. Because you deforest, erosion takes over. So all this kind of dangers agriculture was doing in our planet. So Pope is telling, come on, change the production and the consumption and don't use fossil fuel, and actually we can save environment. So it's a very, very beautiful writing in Laudato Si. We can make agricultural theology out of it. And I recommend to theologians to look into these matters. There are 32 references on agriculture Pope Francis is giving, and he is calling for, one of them is change of lifestyle, change in production and consumption. So let us give some awakening to the farmers in our parishes, in our villages. Tell them to produce pulses, production. We need to increase the production, and also we should increase consumption. That also needs awakening through seminars, through symposium, through workshops. Let us talk to our parishioners to add a lot of peas and beans and lentils. So awakening is necessary, and also development of recipes. Our traditional recipes are so good, like in Tamil, like avaraka sambar, mochaka sambar, kadala sambar. So all those local recipes. But today people go for fast food. The opposite is called slow movement. Fast food movement, opposite is slow food movement. What is slow food movement? You care for local recipes. Local, your grandma, your great-grandma, your great-great-grandfather's recipes. Bring them back, and they are tasty and also healthy. This has been developed for the past millions of years in our human consciousness, and we need not endanger all these recipes. So Pope Francis, beautifully in Laudato Si, he writes and recommends the lifestyle of eating pulses. So International Year of the Pulses 2016 is inviting all of us to examine our lifestyle, to examine our consciousness, and to examine our environment, to examine our economics, to examine our markets, consumption, and to come back to a more sustainable way of living. I think the eating pulses and production of pulses, consumption of pulses, I think the best sustainable way we can ever imagine. And thank you, and God bless, and happy International Year of Pulses 2016.